from Goku and Vegeta to Deku and Bakugo. I just love me a good old-fashioned rivalry. So whether if it's them trying to outwit each other like Ellen Light, or even if they end up having to box it out like Sasuke and Naruto, I'ma tune in. And it's no different between Michael Jackson and Prince. Cause looking back at it, this was really just your typical anime rivalry. On one side, you got Michael Jackson, the king of pop, greatest entertainer of all time, the chosen one you can say. And on the other side, you've got Prince, the lone wolf, genius. Always compared, and they definitely played into it. They went from trying to show each other up on stage to one of them completely crashing out and trying to hit the other with a car. Yeah, just like how it gets between rivals we see in anime, it got crazy here too. So let's get into it. Now, if you know me in real life, you know I'm a huge MJ fan. I like Prince too, but I'm not the biggest fan, so I honestly don't know every inch of his lore. But in my humble opinion, a lot of what went on between them did seem like Prince was a bit of a hater. But I don't know, y'all could tell me after. But to keep this vid from seeming totally biased, I brought in some help.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm 223 Muley. I'm supposed to be non-biased in all this, but I mean, after doing some of this research with her, yeah, Prince do kind of seem like a hater. I ain't gonna cap. And he also seems like he loves his own cheeks a little bit too much, but I'm sure we're gonna get to that at some point in the video anyway.
But before we get into any of that, what even makes a good rivalry? I don't think people realize just how much rivalries do for a story. They're not just about fights or who's better, it's about growth. Like, let's use Goku and Vegeta for example. Vegeta for sure wouldn't train as hard as he does without always feeling the need to play catch up more often than not. We saw when Goku died how lost the nigga was, and how bad he was fiending to shake with him when he got back. Nah, niggas love calling themselves the motivation, but Goku can dead jack that.
The motivation back.
Nah, but for real, whether if it's the toxic type of rivalry or one of the healthy ones, rivals do push each other to get better. And someone else made this little chart for anime rivals, and I'm not saying all of it's to a T, because some of these seem to be in the wrong side or mixed up, but a lot of these can fit for them as well. Anti-hero, outcast, big eater, pause. But have you seen Mike's flight meal preferences? He can eat. Anyways, rivalries also usually showcase a battle of philosophies. One character represents hope, the other rebellion. One believes in unity, the other in solitude. That back and forth right there is always gonna have people talking and picking sides. And once again, it's the same with Prince and Michael. Their rivalry wasn't just about music. So yeah, let's take a look at this timeline. So when you listen to all the different perspectives and they explain how the Prince and MJ thing even started, they all start here. So from the looks of it, this night is really what kicked things off, or at least where things got a little more personal. So what had happened was, James Brown calls up Michael to do a little 1-2. He does, and very cleanly might I add. After he's done though, he whispers to him that he should call up Prince as well, which may seem like just a nice little gesture, but it's been said that Prince took this more as a challenge. And I can't lie, based on what happened after the concert, he may have been right in thinking so. But anyways, listening to MJ, James calls up Prince, but he mentions how MJ insisted that they call him up as well. And if you know Prince's personality, even I had to cringe at that part, cause right off rip, him sounding like an afterthought probably made him feel away, which may have contributed to what happened next. And before we talk about what Prince came up there and did, I want y'all to keep in mind that while James is someone both Prince and MJ looked up to, by this moment in time, Prince was on the rise, but James Brown already knew Mike pretty well. He knew him from a kid, plus Thriller was already a huge success at this point. So of course James calling up MJ came across way more natural, and I don't think he felt pressure in the slightest. Prince, on the other hand,
yeah, this was the beginning of what would make this nigga just a crash out. I don't even know what bro was thinking of when he even got on stage. Just his entrance alone was mad weird. It's bad enough you a grown-ass man who's 5'2" and probably weighs like 80 pounds, but you decide to make your entrance by getting carried by another grown man? Like, bro, just imagine how these events played out before he got on camera. I could just see a grown-ass, light-skinned nigga asking another man for uppies. And honestly, the ending of this whole situation wasn't even the worst part, in my opinion, even though the ending definitely was pretty bad. The worst part of this whole thing is after Michael got on stage, was shown mad love, and just proceeds to give us all effortless aura, here comes Prince just doing the absolute most. Gang, no one came here to watch you borderline have sex with yourself on stage. Tighten up. Like, I kid you not, when the two of us went back to watch this video, I guess for some reason I just forgot how embarrassing this is, so I'm just gonna break it down so that you can actually grasp how rare but massive this L is. After being carried on stage by another grown man, he proceeds to play a guitar that barely works while groping himself and caressing himself in front of like hundreds of people. And I just peeped this freaky ass nigga slapped himself in the face. I don't know what he's on. But after that, he gets half naked, moans into the mic, dances around a little bit, and just drops a huge lamp on a crowd full of people. Now, out of all those things, it's clear which one is factually the worst, because like, if you gave me a concussion and all I did is pull up to watch some James Brown, I'm not gonna lie, Prince, you gotta get your little 5'2" ass whooped. I'm not about to just let that slide. But to me, the one that's personally the worst is this one singular sound he makes throughout this entire performance, and it's just him giving us freaky ass moans. Listen to this. Yeah, no cap, I'm not using that microphone after he just did all that. Nigga covering the microphone in straight Jerry curl juices and hot breath. Get out of here.
Get that nigga off my shit right now. Get that nigga fuck off my shit right now. I don't give a fuck who that is, nigga.
And the sad part is, I know after seeing everything Michael did on stage, once again, effortlessly just farming aura on everybody, Prince just could not take the fact that tonight is Michael's night to be the main character. And in proper hating ass nigga fashion, he did try to take that away from him. If Michael is Naruto in this situation, Prince is definitely Sasuke. But the issue is, Prince thought that this was his 5 Kage summit moment. But no, gang, this is your fight on the hospital rooftop. And where Michael blew his water towers back out, you just blew up and failed, bro. Please get off the stage.
Prince obviously wasn't happy with this. He just embarrassed himself in front of his idol. Plus, Mike was allegedly being a troll about it, stating that Prince made a fool out of himself, which actually leads us right into our next event. Now, I'm still gonna say allegedly, but this is coming from multiple reliable sources. Plus, this isn't exactly the only time he's done something like this. I'm just not entirely sure if this went down right after the James Brown concert or at another event. I'm guessing the latter though, because the only reason Prince tried to do this, besides the verbal trolling Mike was doing, was because Mike took it upon himself to not only purchase the video of Prince failing on stage, but to show it around too. Like, it's been said he even shows it to people from the comfort of his crib. Prince already thought Michael intentionally set him up that night, because if he was in fact high, maybe Mike knew that. I don't know. Either way, the trolling did not help.
I'm not gonna lie, with this one it's kind of hard to be on Michael's side, because if you do know the Michael lore, you do know that he does have his own petty ways where he slight-handedly and very like with a lot of composure and class will have you looking goofy. And if anybody else doesn't know about the lore, if you tell them, they're gonna look at you like, bro, you're tweaking. He's a sweetheart. Yeah, a sweetheart, but he also on some slick shit sometimes. Like even how he indirectly bought Eminem's like entire catalog because of one bar that was directed towards him. Yes, it was a bar about the lie told on him. That's probably the biggest and worst lie in his entire career. Unless you've been living under a rock for like 30 years, you know what I'm talking about. But like, damn, Unc, let that man live. He said one thing. You know how many bad things that nigga said about his own mother?
My mom! Get out! It was worth it!
That being said, I am a man that does enjoy a good act of pettiness, especially towards someone who deserves it. However, you do have to understand that a petty act may also be met by another. But hey, that part is not for me to talk about. I'll just let Lindo do that instead.
I can't lie, me being a Gemini as well, I'm not saying I'm gonna try to hit the nigga with a car, that's OD, but I probably would try to find a way to get back. And although I feel Prince on this one, if I'm Mike, there's no way I'm just getting over someone allegedly trying to run me and my mom over. So that's why I feel like if this did happen, Prince was probably just trying to scare him, not actually hurt him. But us Geminis, we're never beating the allegations though. Next, we got the little head-to-head that happened in the years 1984 to 1985 with Prince's Purple Rain and Michael's Thriller. Michael dropped Thriller, the album, on November 30th, 1982, and the music video December 2nd the following year. So as you may know, Thriller did big things, especially by the year 1984. The album stayed #1 for 37 weeks, broke multiple records, 8 Grammys, 8 AMAs, and so on. So Prince saw this and was super motivated after seeing Thriller's success. Then comes along Purple Rain, the movie and album, and he definitely ate with that one, because Prince will become the first artist since the Beatles to have a #1 album, single, and movie all at the same time. And then award-wise, although not as much as Thriller, he definitely had more variety with the awards. He even beat out Thriller at 1985's AMAs for favorite pop rock album, which actually leads us right into the next event. So this is actually the same night all the stars went and recorded We Are the World after the AMA Awards show. Prince, though, was a no-show. There's a few theories on why he didn't pull up. One being that it just didn't fit his image and he kinda found the song lame.
To keep it a buck, I'm not just gonna let somebody call something I wrote and put my time and effort into ass. Like, you not just gonna hit me with that, cause I know I ain't ass. I got record-breaking all-time hits to prove I ain't ass. Like, that's one thing we not gonna do.
Not deadass. And two would be the fact he requested a room to record alone due to, I guess, working better alone, which who does that sound like? But yeah, Lionel Richie dubbed it. So besides it not fitting his image or whatever else, let's keep in mind Prince just won big at the AMAs and even performed. So let's just say his ego and pride, much like Vegeta, was probably telling him he's above the program. Cause it's not like he went home and slept after. He was outside while they were all in the studio recording all night. So I'm willing to bet a mixture of all the theories. Clips like this, pretty much supports the claim that he just didn't fuck with the song for real.
That being said, Prince deciding not to get involved with that song did make him look bad, and I'm not gonna cap, man. Yeah, a lot of people do look at him not showing up to do the song as a bad look, but honestly, it's not like he didn't contribute anything. He did do his own song in private. It would be completely different if he was just like, fuck them kids, and just did nothing at all. But honestly, he probably would have done his own song and helped with the group project too for extra credit if y'all would have just gave the man his own room. Like, dang, y'all gave one to Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. All respect to two goats, but let's keep it a buck. Them two goats need CNI dogs, I'm sorry. And honestly, they didn't even need to give the two of them their own rooms. Just tell them that you did it. What they gonna do? See that you're lying to them? Nigga, no!
Okay, to be fair, I'm still giving Ray his own private room. He was moving in there.
Just throw one of them spare rooms to Prince. At least then we would have been able to avoid this terrible moment.
There seems no hope at all.
But if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall.
Let us realize, stand together as one.
Get that nigga off my shit right now. Get that nigga fuck off my shit right now. I don't give a fuck who that is, nigga.
Look, bro. Them people in Africa did not suffer for y'all to pull up singing like your rent been covered for the next 6 months. Get it together. These niggas gonna go right after Michael Jackson singing like they got 4 refrigerators. They pissing me off.
Next up on the timeline, we got the bad situation. This one is pretty much common knowledge at this point. Quincy Jones was trying to have Mike and Prince collab on Bad, believing they would have good chemistry on it, and it would probably even lessen the tension between them in real life. Mike was down with it, but as we know, Prince stubbed it, claiming he just wasn't trying to sing the words, "Your butt is mine," to another man. And that's where I gotta stop him. After all the sus activities he has done,
tell me, darling, does a man have an ass like mine? I didn't think so.
singing those lyrics is where you draw the line. And I know Prince was said to be not the biggest fan of the LGBT community, but I honestly think that was just a cope. So I'm not buying it. This is now the second time he has done working on something with Mike. So in my opinion, it's either A, just like Vegeta, he doesn't want to fuse with him, or B, he's so badly traumatized by that James Brown situation that he doesn't want to be in a position ever again to be outshined by Mike. And it's known Mike does like to show off. Like, I know you've seen he made sure to get that full head-to-toe camera pan for his entrance on We Are the World. On the bright side, he did say that Bad was gonna be a hit whether he was on it or not, and he was right.
Yeah, with this one, it's honestly given a lot of crazy energies that I just kind of want to talk over. For one, I think there might have been a little intimidation on Prince's part. Like, I ain't gonna cap, I love the shorties, but I can admit when a man is looking good. This is top 3 premium fine shit Michaels, bro. Look at this man. But even beside from me joking around, I really do just think Prince should have just took the peace offering, because these are 2 of the biggest names in music consistently throughout both of their careers. And aside from nothing but straight up pettiness, we were deprived of straight musical greatness. Like, I rock with Eddie Murphy, gang funny and all, but if Michael could drop this,
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Yeah, bro, you could have did a song with Prince, bro. Y'all should have squashed the beef.
Gotta interrupt again, because I, for the record, do in fact like the song. Sure, the visuals could use some work, and it looks like a fever dream, but it's catchy. So yeah, he's just hating. Now proceed.
But that Sasuke mentality is something dangerous. I really feel like bro just came off such a career high. He pretty much felt like Sasuke right after offing Danzo. So for Naruto to pull up offering peace, yeah, bro, you probably not trying to hear that. You just trying to boom the hidden leaf, and I don't blame you. My boy was seeing nothing but purple rain and black flames. I swear to God, bro was just a full-on crash out. But I don't blame Michael for trying to push the peace, because I do not want the entire rest of the world thinking my biggest op is a nigga that is way too comfortable having his little booty cheeks out all the time. Nigga, put that shit away.
So, by February 1st, 1988, Mike was clearly fed up and done playing nice, because he had a lot to say in that Moonwalk autobiography. He called Prince one of the rudest people he's ever met, very mean and nasty to his family, mentions the James Brown incident again, and says that he overall hates comparisons because he has proven himself since he was real little. Then goes on to say, quote unquote, he feels like I'm his opponent. I hope he changes because boy, he's gonna get hurt. He's the type that might himself or something, and you can't tell me that's not giving this.
I know how important it is to you that you keep up with my strength level, so you'll be needing all the time you can get.
Is that a fact? Mind your tongue. I'm not an imbecile. I know when I'm being patronized, and I don't care for the suggestion that you're stronger than me.
Yeah, I wasn't really suggesting.
What? Curse you, Kakarot. Always one step ahead of me. No matter how much I progress, you always seem to surpass me. You were always there, laughing in my face. Why won't you leave me alone?
All this though never made it to the final cut of the autobiography. It's just from the tapes that was used to write it. And bro, I know I remember hearing some of it on YouTube like years ago, but no funny shit, it's like the leaks have been completely scrapped from the internet. And as I was searching, I peeped it looks like every time someone puts it up, it gets taken down. I mean, duh, it's a leak, but the fact these weren't supposed to be public statements is probably why Prince never responded. Well, at least publicly. This part has nothing to really do with Mike, but I gotta mention the fact that Prince even had his own little rebellion arc, just like how we see from rivals like Vegeta, Sasuke, and others. At this time, Prince was locked in a restrictive contract with his record label and wanted out. He also still wanted to release music, but couldn't under his own name. So to avoid being sued, and really to rebel and signify a new era in his life, he changed his name to a symbol. A symbol. Like, come on, it's right there. He had niggas really calling him the artist formerly known as Prince. To the media, he looked crazy. He even started performing with the word slave on his face to emphasize his point.
I didn't even know this character arc was a thing until I was damn near grown, and as an adult now, I just look at it and honestly, yo, it is so stupid. Because bro, I kid you not, if anybody else did this, you would be looking at them sideways. Imagine one day you just watching a random interview, and before the interview starts, the person doing it just says, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm sitting down with the actor formerly known as Denzel Washington. Nigga, say that nigga's name. Actually, Denzel kinda got aura. He could get away with that. Alright, imagine an actor just tells you, yeah, I'm about to do a movie with the wrestler formerly known as The Rock. Actually, damn, that nigga got aura too. Okay, maybe it's just something you could do if you got aura, but that does not make it any less stupid. It's like when you meet hood dudes and you ask them what their name is, them niggas look you dead in the eye and say, my name Lil Ray Ray, walk them down with a switch. Whole time this nigga's government name is Ruben. I'm not calling you that stupid shit, bro. But it really is only something you could get away with if you have mad respect in whatever field you come from. So maybe Lil Ray Ray walk them down with a switch really just do be walking them down with a switch. I don't know.
But if we're using anime logic here, you know this is just a path he had to go down before he gets to his redemption arc, which would be in 2000, when he reclaims his name after winning the battle with the Warner Brothers. So really, he's just like the rivals who redeemed themselves by coming back stronger and respected. And before we get to our last two key moments in the timeline, I want to share some more random alleged moments that happened throughout the years that I just can't place anywhere specifically, because I'm either not sure how much truth it holds or the dates are a little fuzzy. And hopefully this can give you guys a better vibe on the type of relationship they really had. So, allegedly, we got multiple backstage encounters. Apparently, during the Jackson's Victory Tour, Prince came to one of the shows as a guest, but pulled a stunt that basically caused a mini riot, and Michael obviously found it attention-seeking. During a ping pong match, Prince hit MJ in the balls on purpose. Around 1994, Prince, Mike, and Lenny Kravitz were cooling in the stew and had a pretty good time. The time they were about to have a meeting, and both kept asking Quincy if the other was there yet, just because neither wanted to be the first one there. Oh, or even the time Mike straight up said if God gave me these ideas, he may give it to Prince, which def gives strong Ellen Late vibes, you know, just the constant always trying to be a step ahead of each other. And finally, Prince giving Michael a strange gift, something like a box containing feathers and a voodoo-like doll, which Michael wasn't a fan of.
Yes. The infamous story about how Prince was playing the bass crazy as hell in Michael Jackson's face. This story is low-key just petty on both parts. Cause by this stage, both of these men are like in their 40s, maybe 50s. Gang, I'm not even on nobody's side no more. Tighten up. So obviously, unless you don't know, the story goes Michael, will.i.am, and Chris Tucker all went to see Prince play live, and at some point Prince just started playing the bass crazy as hell, specifically at Michael, like came down face to face and just started doing it. Now, initially it is petty on both sides for Michael to care about this and Prince to do it, but I did also have to take into account this is Prince, and one thing we know about these side characters when they be like in fights and whatnot and like shows is they try to do the most, and that literally personifies Prince to a T. Cause I can just imagine him like playing the bass very hard and aggressive, but also kind of most likely thrusting his hips in Michael's face on some like crazy sus junk. And honestly, if I'm Michael, yeah, low-key, bro, get up out of my face with that shit. What are you doing, bro? Like I said, I'm just assuming this is how it went, but knowing his character, I just imagine bro dry humping the air while playing that bass just because he felt like he had to show out. And obviously you have somebody like will.i.am who's friends with both these people, and he's telling this story after both of them have passed. So it's not like he's gonna just be honest and tell us, yeah, Prince was doing a lot. It low-key looked like he was reenacting a scene from that Black and Orange website, but you know, it is what it is. No, he's gonna try and keep the peace and keep both of their images as clean as possible post-mortem as he possibly can, which honestly, respected and makes perfect sense. But that's not stopping all of us from knowing what a freakball Prince was, so I'm still 99% sure that that's how it took place.
And I do want to add, this was Death Giving in the beginning of Shippuden, fresh after the time skip when Sasuke basically told Naruto to get his weight up. Keep in mind, this is 07 Mike. He hasn't had a concert in how long at that point? So I do think Prince was basically doing all that to show he still got it. And I'm not saying it was solely because of this, but I don't know, Mike did decide he wanted to go on his final tour a little after this. And I'm sure the perfectionist he is, he was definitely going to try to show he still got it too. That's where the quote I mentioned before comes into play. Mike allegedly said this during his This Is It rehearsals. Prince was depressed after MJ died. He stayed locked in his room and even stated, "It's always sad to lose someone you loved. I don't want to talk about it. I'm too close to it." And then even started playing Don't Stop Till You Get Enough during his shows. And that just goes to show what I touched on earlier. All the greatest rivals always be having a form of mutual respect for each other, and even sometimes a friendship underneath everything. Keep in mind, both Michael and Prince have went to each other's concerts, even though they could have been just scoping out the scene. But other things include Prince defending Michael during allegations. They played basketball and ping pong together. Michael's son is even named Prince, even though it's really after his grandpa, but still, it's nice to think about. So yeah, it was more like a friendly competition that went a little too far sometimes. So growing up, the more I learned about the two, it was always clear Michael was the overall better entertainer, but a lot of people will argue that Prince for sure was the more talented artist between the two. Kind of like how Sasuke and Vegeta are the better technical or gifted fighters, but Naruto and Goku got them in terms of strength and power. Prince is arguably a better technical singer, can dance pretty well, wrote most of his music, can play like 27 instruments, like really a one-man band. But while that's all good and dandy, doing everything dolly all the time can end up biting you in the ass.
Yeah, the fact that Prince did everything by himself honestly is what makes him go down in history as one of the greatest musicians like of all time, as well as just like one of the greatest performers and artists. Obviously no glaze, even though he probably liked that shit. But as somebody who spent like 10 years of their lives making music and teaching themselves instruments, I can also say these creative outlets thrive in a social environment. My bad for that shameless plug right there, but I'm gonna continue. Sometimes meeting people and working with people and collaborating with people can get you some of your best work, and it doesn't make you less of a creative because you got to that goal with the help of someone else. If anything, you're upping your creativity because you're able to take those lessons and teachings that you had with others and bring them back to your craft when you do something dolly. Some of Michael's greatest songs weren't even directly made by him. They were made with him and someone else, like a Quincy Jones or a Berry Gordy or whatever it may be, or his, family. But it doesn't take from him as being one of the greatest artists of all time as well. If not, someone would say the greatest, once again, no glaze. But I just say all that to say, obviously, Prince's inspiration and what he did as a creator will go down in history, and it does make it all the more impressive that he's someone who could do it on his own. After all, there's only so few artists who also have that same acclaim. But as we all know, art does imitate life. And if you're an anime fan, I mean, obviously you are, you're on this channel, you would know it's a tale as old as time for a character to be face to face with another character who's gotten so strong all on their own, but it doesn't matter because our MC has gotten as far as they have with the power of friendship. I'm not saying every single thing Michael did to one-up Prince throughout both of their careers was just the power of friendship, but hey, it damn sure was a contribution. I'm not gonna cap. Yo, that was a terrible pun, bro. That joke was ass.
So, if I'm putting my bias aside, I'm still going with my GOAT. And I can see why Prince and fans would start to grow frustrated by that. I'm sorry, but sometimes you're just him. Michael set the tone for the Super Bowl, music videos. Mike was out here uniting the Bloods and Crips, broke countless records, had niggas passing out. Literally just the definition of aura. In my opinion, no one's touching him. Don't get me wrong, Prince is def a fierce competitor, but his name is pretty fitting, cause there's already a king. Really, two GOATs, but their little rivalry was pure jokes. But besides all the little petty shenanigans, I'm glad to hear they had the utmost respect for each other. I'm just shocked no one has made the comparison yet on here. But yeah, guys, I definitely wanted to get this out to you on Mike's birthday, but hey, better late than never, am I right? Anyways, make sure to go sub to 223Mui. He was a big help with this, and he has some really funny shit on his own channel, so def tap in with him. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this vid was a bit different from what I usually do, but I wanted to give y'all a little preview of what's to come on my second channel. I'm gonna be leaning into more niches, so some WWE stuff, some live action, basically just anything I was super into in the 2000s and 2010s. So really a mix of a lot, but def sub if you're into seeing any of that. And shit, if you guys like this one enough, I'll probably even make a series on here too, you know, comparing more real life to anime. With all that said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
To be starting something, you got to be starting something. If you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. Michael!